Hello guys, welcome to Ramta Solutions. We are continuing with our lesson on functions. We are still in grade 10. So on your grade 10 functions, let's answer this question without any waste of time. So the question says equation of the equation of the function g of x equals a over x plus 1 is shown below. It passes through the point 4 and 2 on the graph of g and has a range of y is an element of negative infinity to infinity, union 1 and 0. This is a range that tells you that what you see here, it means that your graph does not exist on the line y equals y. So this should come to you as an asymptote, which we call the horizontal asymptote. Okay, so we know from this graph we can see that it is between first and third quadrant. Therefore we expect our a to be positive. Okay, we expect our a to be positive. Our q, as we can see, it has shifted up, and having shifted up, it means it's positive, and it is given to us that it is equal to 1. Okay, so and we are also given another point. So without any waste of time, let's answer the questions. 5.1.1 says determine the equation of g of x, which is g of x equals x over, oh boy, it's a over x plus q. We just showed you that q is 1. There is a point that this graph passes on, which is 4 and 2. So we'll use 4 and 2. Where there's x, we put 4. Where there's y, we put 2. So 2 equals a over 4 plus 1. So this is 1 equals a over 4. Therefore, a equals 4. G of x is therefore 4 over x plus 1. When I look at it, it says to me, indeed, a is positive. This is what I was expecting. So we are on the right track. Now, 5.1.2 says determine the equation of h, the x-axis of symmetry of g, which has a positive gradient. We know that when basically our axis of symmetry, we say y equals plus minus x plus q. Maybe let me write it in this way. I'm basically saying y equals minus x plus q, or y equals x plus q. This is a straight line. Now the question says one with a positive gradient, so this means we are looking for this one here. All right, so without any waste of time, let's answer the question. Our answer is y is equal to x plus, what is the value of q? The value of q is 1. Right? We are done. By the way, they said we must call it h of x. Let me call it h of x. So let me say h of x equals x plus 1. Okay, so we are on the right track. Now let's then head to the next question. 5.2 says sketch the graph of h on the provided diagram sheet. Clearly show all the asymptotes and intercepts with the axis. On the provided answer sheet, for sure there is g of x plotted, but don't worry, I will show you how the graph looks like. Now I'm only gonna focus on what is this h of x. So we said h of x is equal to x plus 1. This is a straight line. Its y-intercept is 1. Remember, this is y-intercept. I can assure you, if I want x-intercept, it'll be minus 1. So it is this, where that's why we put 0. Therefore, x equals minus 1. So we have coordinates 1 and 0. All right. Now, without any waste of time, let's draw this graph. not gonna take long. I'm gonna say 1 2 1 2 1 2. By the way, this is your y-axis, this is your x-axis. 1 2. So we are looking at when y-intercept is 1, x-intercept is -1. Our graph is like this. Okay, our graph is like this. This is your graph. This is how your graph looks like. But they said clearly show all the asymptotes, and this graph does not have asymptotes. Okay, so this is the point we're looking at, 0 and 1, and this one here, -1 and 0. Okay, these are our intercepts with the axis, and sorry, we called it h of x, so yeah, it's okay like this. All right, this is where we get all our marks. So far we have 9 marks. All right, let's go to 5.3. So 5.3 says write the equations of the asymptotes of f if f of x is equal to negative g of x plus 3. We don't know what is f of x, but we know what is g of x. It was 4 over x plus 1 plus 3. This is negative 4 over x minus 1 plus 3, which is negative 4 over x plus 2. For grade 10, your horizontal asymptote, remember your horizontal asymptote is y equals q, right? So I want you to look at this function here. This one here, its a is negative 4, okay? And then its q, it's positive 2, all right? All right. Now, let's go back to the question. So, vertical asymptote, oh, maybe let me finish this. Horizontal asymptote, I said y is equal to q. So our answer should then be y is equal to 2. This is our horizontal asymptote. Now, our vertical asymptote for grade 10 only, our vertical asymptote is always x is equal to 0. Then you have all your marks, right? So you don't have to write this horizontal asymptote vertical. You can just write y equals to 2 or x equal to 0. All right. So for your grade 10, this is x is equal to 0. Okay, it is always x is equal to 0 for your grade 10 because you are not dealing with a vertical shift. Okay, should I say vertical shift? You are not dealing with horizontal shift. You are not dealing with horizontal shift. Okay, so these are your answers. Now remember, first thing first, you simplify or you solve this, and this will guide you as to what is f of x, right? So f of x basically will be looking like this. Okay, 2, let's say this is 2, it'll be looking like this. Can you see that? All right, but that's not the question that we are here to ask to solve. Now, that's f of x. Now let's then proceed to the next one. 5.4 says use the graphs to determine the value of x for which this guy is equal to this guy. You see 5.2 was saying to you sketch the graph of h on the provided diagram sheet. On that diagram sheet, there must have been g of x, and now all you needed to do was to plot h of x. But I have something for you, so let me just insert it. Okay, let me just insert it. So okay, all right. So so this is your It's my mistake here. It's my mistake here. This should basically be, this should be g of x, and this should be h of x. Okay. Now, to answer the question, let's answer question 5.4.1. It says, use the graph to determine the values of x for which h of x is equal to g of x. Remember, when they say h of x is equal to g of x, they mean where the graphs are meeting. Okay? They mean where the graphs are meeting. So let me continue. H of x, okay. Let me not write it down. Where the graphs are meeting, it is at this point here, and it is also at this point here. Right? What is this point? I see the x value of this point. X value of this point is minus 2. They say determine the values of x. So let me not worry much. This is at x equals minus 2, and at x equals 2. Can you guys see that? And at x equals 2. Now 5.4.2, they say g of x is less or equal to h of x. But guys, there is a condition. X must be less than 0. So check this out. It says g of x is below h of x on the negative x-axis. Okay, this is what the question says. Okay, g of x is less or equal to, so basically is below or equal to, okay, it's below or equal to h of x. Remember, what is g of x? G of x is the hyperbola. F of h of x is the straight line. So remember, g of x must be below h of x. In which region? Let's see. When x is less than negative 2, meaning now we're going to the left of this point. When x is less than negative 2, g of x is above h of x. That is not what we are looking for. Now, let's look to the right of x is equal to negative 2. G of x is below h of x. So this is exactly what we're looking for. But remember, they will never touch x equal to 0. So we should say this is when x, remember, they said it's greater or equal to, less or equal to. So we'll say this is when x is greater or equal to minus 2, but less than 0. I'm saying less because the graph will never touch x equals 0. Okay? So this is how you answer the questions. Alright guys, with that being said, that's a wrap. See you next time. Bye bye.